Okay, so let's just get a little flow going. So Emily, I noticed you're moving your hands like this and like this. I am? Yeah. So you want to keep them really, really exactly in relation to your body. You don't want to move them, and relax your elbows and shoulders. And when we do this, we want to focus on our dantian. And imagine that our dantian is what's moving us from side to side. So let your dantian actually move you. And of course, you inhale on one side and you exhale to the other. Okay, let's do some upward downward. Then we want to try to feel everything as it rises up. So sometimes I only want to go up this high because that's all I feel. So remember when our count was 1, 2, 3 out to the 4 back, 5 your elbows are down, and 6 everything comes down. So really the next step is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're at 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're at 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you're at 4 or 5. I counted wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're down. And the idea of that, and to practice that way, sort of count to yourself, is when you go up 1, 2, 3, when you're up to 2, you still want to feel 1. So you want to try, you're always adding to it. You're trying to, you don't just feel this lifting, you always feel what's underneath. You want to try to imagine that this is becoming a bigger and bigger and bigger sphere so that you can feel the whole thing when you get to the top and down. So when you imagine and pretend until you start feeling, once you get the feeling going, you may just get this far. Anything else you do is going to be mechanical. So if we're really going to be doing this meditatively, we want to go as far as we can still feel the whole thing. And if that's as far as that is, which may be just like the equivalent of just feeling energy here, if this is as far as you feel it raising your arms and you can feel the whole sphere there, then you're still doing upward downward, but you're doing it more meditatively. So I just wanted to point that out. So when I teach you, often I find that I'm doing it mechanically because I'm, thinking about what I'm doing for you. But really what I wanted to do this morning, and I want to explain why, all I feel is this. And so that's all I'm going to do. Okay, so let's do a transition. And again, you go up as far as you can feel, and then let your elbows, imagine it's still expanding, and your center, for whatever reason, might be very small on a particular day. I think it's because I'm tired, but whatever. And the same, so of course the same thing is true here. I'm still imagining my sphere getting as large as the universe, but my physical body is moving in a much smaller circle. And I might get bigger. Because remember, every time we do this, it's not a repetition. A master said this on Sunday. Every time we do it, it's the first time. It's like the first time. So you may feel different each time you do this. You might feel bigger and bigger as you go along, or you might just stay small, or you might, whatever you have to really follow whatever that feeling is. Okay, so let's go to play the Peapod. I guess we're going to do the, so we're going to sink here, and don't forget to bring your foot back. Inhale and exhale. And again, this inhale, go as far as you feel. You try to feel that balloon under your elbow, and you want to squeeze it together, but only as far as you can feel your arm going up. Try not to be mechanical. Try to be only that which you feel. Okay, let's come to center. And let's do the other side. To center. Okay, let's do a little, we didn't practice last week, brush knee. So we start brush knee, and if you start stepping back instead of stepping forward with your angled foot and put down your Taiji ball, you won't go as forward as much. I was playing with that. I was wondering why you were moving forward. So it's just, if you step back, you'll stay back. Okay, now we're going to do a brush knee. And I'm going to talk you through some fine things on this. So ideally, I'm going to change door. Earth becomes sky and sky becomes earth. So you have two Taiji balls here. You want to concentrate on your danqian and let your danqian, feel your danqian actually turning you. So your danqian is turning you, and then you might realize that you just did a bow and arrow twist, because that's actually what you did with this. So your danqian is turning you, so you're doing you're inhaling, and then you've got to go back. So weights on the back foot as you do a change door. Step forward, get these two balls. Try to imagine and pretend that your danqian is turning you. You go forward and you go back. Your hands never stop moving. This is a continuous flow. And so really you can inhale in one direction and exhale if you have enough breath in the other direction. So this is where one of the places where you may not have realized bow and arrow is the actual what you're doing with your feet. So that's what I'd like you, when you practice that this week, is to really practice on your Dan Qian. Try to really imagine the Dan Qian is doing all the work here. And you might want to go back and practice just the bow and arrow with concentrating on your Dan Qian, which is something we didn't do back in the beginning because we didn't talk too much about the Dan Qian. Okay, so let's come to center. Let me get this hair out of my nose. Okay. So I think the next one after, I'm not doing in order. Okay, I want to do lean forward. I'm sort of out of order, but that's okay. So in lean forward, we're going to start in single hand attaching. Again, practice stepping back, putting down your Tai Chi ball. And then we're going to just, moving forward, we're going to go right into the form. And so you're going to turn your foot so that both feet are parallel at an angle. And you're going to inhale and let it expand. And we can do this in change door. So inhale and step. Exhale as you plant your foot. Inhale, let it expand. Exhale, contract. Inhale, plant your foot as an exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Again, let's work on being smooth. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. Let's come to center. Let's relax. Okay. Now let's work on downward parry. I don't know why I'm having a hard time with the name. I've got to really get these. Deflect downward parry punch. Deflect downward parry punch. Again, we're going to start this in single hand attaching. Let's start on the other side. So I'm going to step back, put down my Tai Chi ball, single hand attach, exhale forward, and then inhale as you're coming back, exhale as you're stepping down. Don't forget this going. So this is an inhale as you step forward, but you don't put any weight forward. Exhale, you give the punch. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Good, you got it good. Inhale and exhale. Great. So let's do some stepping back with just single hand attaching. I think you need one more step. Okay. So let's do that again. We'll start on the other side. So we're going to inhale, exhale, in, no, exhale, inhale, exhale, going forward. Just wanted to get our weight forward. Okay. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale forward. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale forward. I love this form. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. It's hard. I know you get off. Let's start again.
Yeah, I got it.
I know you were doing really well. I was moving a little bit too fast, I think. Okay, so let's inhale, exhale, going forward. Inhale, you're coming back. Exhale as you go around. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay. Inhale, exhale. As you're doing this. So this is an inhale and exhale. Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't really see your feet. So let's go back. So I just want to make sure that when you are doing your deflect downward, your toe is coming out. So your toe is connected to the deflect downward. And you start moving your weight to your front foot. So at this point, your weight's on your front foot. As this pulls out, that's when you, and this is totally no weight on it, it just moves forward, but there's no weight. Your whole body doesn't change here. So this is, and then you do your punch. And the reason for that is that in martial arts, your opponent has no idea you've gotten yourself in position. Let me see, deflect downward. He's looking at your body and he has no idea that you have changed your feet. Your body shouldn't change at all. So that when you're ready to do the punch, go forward, you got all that power and you've moved forward. So that's the reason for that, deception, if you would, about your feet. So that you need to be able to work on that. Okay, so then we have apparent close-up. I don't know why. This morning I didn't have to look at my cheat sheet because I just floated. But when I'm teaching, I get totally confused. Okay, so let's go over apparent close-up. Again, let's step back as you're doing, taking out your Tai Chi ball. And we're going to start in, of course, hands attaching, but we keep our weight on our back foot. Make sure we're a good bow and arrow. So as we exhale, we're starting to twist. So we're halfway forward, and then we are fully forward, and we're facing the other direction. This palm is up, this palm is down. So as we inhale and expand, that's it. We're still forward, and we don't start shifting our weight back till we close up our window. Okay. So we can do this and change door. So we're going to do keep our weight in the back. So this is an exhale. You go one side, the other side. This is an inhale, but you keep your weight forward. And then you exhale as you come down. So let's change door into a hands attaching. And now we're starting our exhale, and we're starting that S curve as we go forward. And you want to make sure you're completely facing the side, and this hand is up and this hand is down. And then as you inhale, you're twisting forward and your hands come out, and exhale down. And this is another time, actually always focus on your Dan Chien, But imagine your dantian is actually moving you so that you're in this position, looking over your open hand. This is closed. And then your dantian is turning you to center as you spread out and inhale and down. So to the other side. So this is an inhale. You're exhaling. We're inhaling. The weight is forward. And then you're exhaling down. Let's change door. So start with single hand attaching. Keep your weight on the back. You're exhaling as you go to one side and then to the other. You're inhaling as you come apart and rotate your hands and down. So this rotate your hands too. Let's do another time. So this is an inhale, exhale until you get into this position. And as you inhale, you want this hand is going to rotate so they're both down, and then you're going to do your parent close up, your window. Okay, so one more time. Inhale, exhale, inhale, center, and exhale down. And then let's do you can adjust your feet. Let's do your, names are just, I'm just losing my names today.
Cross hands.
Hands, thank you. Okay, so exhale, slow inhale, exhale. Inhale, imagine it getting really, really, really big. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. So when it's taught, it's this is an exhale, this is an inhale, and then you do another exhale, get everything contracted, and inhale. Okay. So that's a review of those last forms. And now let's talk about the long form. And let's go through what we did. Let's start from preparation. Okay, so let's gather our energy. Okay, so let's put your weight on your right foot. We're going to go out to the left to do our get into our beginning stance. Let's do our one up or downward. So this is our grass sparrow's tail is how we start. So we do our one up or downward, and then we're going to go to the left because that's where we started to get our our Tai Chi ball. And then we're going to compress, and split, and go over your right knee and catch another Tai Chi ball. You're inhaling and you're bringing it back, and then you're going to adjust your foot and exhale and put your weight on that right foot. Step forward with your left with an inhale, and as you exhale, you're expanding out this ward off and let it keep expanding until you get into a roll stand position. Inhale as you come back and gather that energy. And then get into press. So you're going to press and push. Inhale, coming back. Exhale, push. And from here, we're going to go into a long form, long hand, short hand. So as your hands are coming down, don't forget to adjust your left toe really in. And then as your hands come up, the left hand is going to start going into a single whip. So pull that single whip to an angle, and you're bringing up your right hand across. And in this single whip, our foot is here, right? So in order for this to go out, your foot has to move with this hand. That's the only thing that's different here with a single whip in the long form. Your foot goes out so that it's now facing that wall. And then you're going to exhale and you're going to do your split. And now your weight's on that forward foot. So now you're going to bring that forward hand and that forward foot into a beginning of a raised hands. So you want to bring this foot so that it's going to be at an angle, because this foot is going to go straight when you get into your raised hand form. So now my feet are in a bow and arrow, and I'm in a raised hands form. And my weight's on the back. Then we're going to bring everything down. So you can imagine everything is sinking. You've got a ball here, actually. And you got this ball here. It's very, very fast, but you sink here. It's really concentrated. And you're going to plant your foot so it's 45 degrees, getting ready for lean forward. So you've got all that concentration in here, so that when you inhale, you're going to expand. And you're going to exhale. You're going to go into a stork spreads wings that easily. So that's all that is. And then we're going to do a stork spreads wings, the full stork spreads wings. And then we're going to go into, and I'm just going to take you one more. This hand keeps going up, and we're going to go into a modified brush knee. We're going to take a small step, and we're going to brush the knee, but we're going to let this go forward like it always does with brush knee. But this hand is going to come up, get a ball, which is going to split into play the pea pod. So I'm going to walk through you. This is as far as, well, we might as well finish up our play the pea pod. So that's as far as we're going to go with the long form today. I'm just taking you up to this part. We're about halfway through. So it's the transitions that are important and what's different. So let's start with doing it on the other side. So we'll be taking up a right Taiji ball. Okay. So let's get back into beginning stance. Let's take a breath or two. Okay. Can you move back just a little bit without running into the wall?
No, this is it for me.
Okay. All right. Okay. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, let's go into beginning of grass sparrow's tail. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale down, sink, sink, sink. Inhale, you're going to get your Tai Chi ball. Exhale, and then you're going to inhale, exhale. In the beginning, that's that extra breath there, which is good to do. Okay, you're going to get your Tai Chi ball over your left knee. Bring it straight back as you inhale and adjust your foot and your ball so it's 45 degrees. Put your weight on your left foot. That's an exhale, step forward, that's an inhale. And now you're going to exhale, ward off, and keep expanding, expanding, expanding as you continue to exhale. Your weight's on the front foot. And now you've got your roll back. So inhale and come straight back and gather your energy. Gather it all. And then you want to exhale and press, 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 and then push out. Inhale and coming back. Exhale and going forward. Inhale, you're going to do long hand, short hand. Don't forget your left toe, right toe. And then you're going to go up. Now your weight's on your right foot. And you're going to start, you can leave your foot here, start your single hand attaching. this hand has to fall. And you should feel that Taiji ball in that hand, or imagine it. You got your single hand attaching, not single, your single whip, go around, and don't forget, now your foot's in a funny place, so it's got to move so that the toe is pointing to the left, and you're going to expand out in your single whip. Okay, so this is an inhale as this all comes, so the hand and the toe has to come, and then you're going to put your weight on your left foot, and then you're going to get into raised hands. And this foot is now made a step forward, so you're in good bow and arrow. So now we're going to exhale, get everything in. Everything comes in, and you can sink down like Master does. And then you're going to step out. It's all an exhale. And then you inhale in single hand. I'm sorry, lean forward. And then you're going to just go to face your left wall. Your left leg comes in, and you're going to do
spread wings.
Wings. God, you're better than I am with the veins. Spread wings. Okay, and then you're going to go into, just notice how my hands, they don't stop, and they're getting ready to go into a brush knee. So I'm going to step over to the side, brush knee, but I'm going to go up, and my feet, I just go up a little bit. I don't actually move my feet because I'm coming in to play the pea pod. I want to bring everything back in to play the pea pod. And then I'm going to inhale and exhale. So there's a little brush knee that's part of that, the long forward dance, a little bit of a brush knee that gets in there. So when we practice the whole long form, we're going to be doing everything on a horizontal. So sometimes we'll be facing this direction, and sometimes we'll actually end up our long form. If we start here, we'll actually end up our long form in that direction. And there's going to be a space that's normally needed in this direction, that direction. And I really need to teach you beginning how to be able to move. So I don't know how, if maybe you can move that chair next week or something that's there to give you more side room, because as we continue this, we'll need it. Okay. And then once you learn it, you can do the whole thing in one spot. But it's really not why. I asked Master about that, and he agreed with me. I mean, he confirmed what I felt. I need to be able to show you how to make movement side to side before we compress it into a spot. Okay, one of the things I started you with, and Master Lau did it 2 weeks ago. He did a little bit of it as a 5-step, which is at the end. And I want to go over that, and then we'll do a little flow. But I want to add to that as well. This 5-step becomes really, really important in the practice. And I don't practice it enough. I got admonished a few weeks ago with that, about not practicing, because Master George put it into, when I first got together with him, and oh my God, I fumbled. He did it, he added it to the flow practice, because you can do it as a flow practice. So the idea is to start in preparation, and your toes sort of like mark something, whether I like to do it on my carpet because I've got a pattern on my carpet, but I'm going to do it back here today. But you want to be able to sort of, whether you have tile floor or Cheryl, I don't know if you remember Cheryl, she has like a floor that she just put down a piece of colorful masking tape or something on the floor so that she could mark her spot, and she practiced 5 spots. So the point is, you want to find a spot. Okay, and we can do this with our hands to our side, just like when we practice bow and arrow. All right, so we got our feet. So we want to step forward like you're doing a bow and arrow, just to start. And then we want to rock forward. Wait a minute, now see, I didn't practice this morning. I just knew I needed to do it with you. Okay, I forgot it now. Okay, here it goes. So you're going to step forward, rock, and then you're going to put your this foot in a bow and arrow, a tight bow and arrow back, and then you're going to rock forward, and then you have to step back here so that you're on your spot that you started when you step back, and you rock. Now we're going to go to the other side, so I'm going to step forward, and this goes into a bow and arrow. You rock back, you rock forward, and move your toes so that when you step back, you're going to be where you started. Okay, so let's do the other side again. Step forward, rock back, good bow and arrow, step forward. And you might find that you're reaching more than you thought you really needed to in order to get back to your spots. Okay, so we did that 2 weeks ago. So now let's do it going backwards. So weights on put your weight on your right foot, step back in a bow and arrow with your left foot, bring your right foot forward, rock, and then step forward with this and bring it up. And then check yourself to see if you're where you began. Stepping back is easier. Okay, put your weight on your left foot, step back with your right, bow and arrow with your left, rock forward, rock back, step to the side, and then step up. And see if you are where you began. So this is 5 steps. So let's go through it all one more time. So let's put your weight on your left foot and step forward with your right. Put your weight on the back. Weight forward. Step back. Forward. Okay, step forward. Back. Forward. And back. Weights now on your right foot, step back, your left foot, forward, step forward, back. Hopefully you're back right where you started. Put your weight on your left foot, step back with your right. Forward. You don't want to go into change door. You want to go back into preparation. I always put into change door. So that's 5 step. And it gets more complicated than that because we're actually going to do a box with this in both directions. But let's get this down pat. And one of the forms on the second page, you use a lot of this because you're stepping around. It's interesting, and I think Master mentioned it one week. First page, first section, everything is front, forward, back, and on the sides. When you start getting to the second section, everything, you do a lot of angle, where you're actually doing rolled hands over your hip on an angle, and there's a lot of things where you're taking in that direction, your angles. And when you get to third page, you spend a lot of time with doing things with rotating your wrists. You do a lot of rotation with your wrist, which is opening up, all of the things. So each section is concentrates on one thing. This is pretty much forward and backward. This is all, the 5 step until you start doing the box and you've got angles you're working with. So we're going to get the box down flat, straight, and then when we get to second section, we'll work on and we'll get the 5 step firm in our minds. Okay, so I know let's do just a quiet, simple flow to finish up. Okay. That's Val.